Okay, sorry guys. You know it's true. I know it's true. She knows it's true. Size matters. It matters for your family. It matters for your children. It matters for the upcoming election. It matters for business, travel. It matters for the quality of life we have, our impact. I'm here today to share my journey, not because this is the greenest tiny house ever or the tiniest tiny house ever, but because I believe small is powerful. And I believe when I step outside my comfort zone, like in this very minute, I am powerful. I have the possibility to inspire you tonight, and that's why I'm here. Please turn. So, as all great tales begin, once upon a time, in a tavern not so far away, on a particularly semi-cloudy Seattle day in April of 2014, there was some really, really tasty local beer, delicious pizza, and two very disgruntled design build professionals. We were mad, we were sad, we were downright disappointed. We were working on a soulless commercial tenant improvement, and we longed for meaningful work, products that we could specify with all of our being. We wanted to fix a broken system. And what does one do when faced with such a complex challenge? Well, I ordered another beer. I ripped open a folder, grabbed a marker, and voila, we brainstormed. And it felt pure and great and exhilarating. And then the buzz wore off. So what do I do now? I've opened Pandora's box. We needed a mission. We knew we wanted to design and build affordable, modular, self-sufficient structures using a local workforce, local materials, with a bio-regional solution. No biggie. Fast forward to 2016. We needed to cut our teeth in on our project, and the small house movement, tiny house movement, was the perfect place to try to combine all these strategies. So this is a story of exploration. Much like Anne, we had no idea the challenges that lied before us. Primary challenge. This is recent. How many people in this room can afford $5,500 a month on a mortgage? If you can, you're in the top 3% of Americans. Typically, you can only afford about a third of your income to go to your housing costs. That means this regular house, you'd have to earn $16,524 a month or $198,000 a year for this house right here. The reality is 90% of Americans cannot afford this home. So what is affordable? What does it look like, feel like? Where do we get our materials from? And how do we craft with skill affordably? This is my tiny house. It's 24 feet long, 8.5 feet wide, 204 square feet. It sleeps 6. It has, right? It has all the amenities of a typical home. It has a kitchen, sink, microwave, oven, hood, range, refrigerator, even has a washer and dryer in here. It has a shower and a toilet. You get the point. It's a house, and I can live there. If you bought this house, it would cost you $550 a month for 10 years. Is that affordable? What does the market say? Who is willing to finance these small housing solutions? The one thing I know for sure is size does matter. Less materials, less cost, pretty simple. Check out this house design. I seriously hope no one in here did this. I just want to say that. Is this the house of the future? Does it look adaptable? Can it adjust to new conditions? Is it versatile, modifiable, convertible, alterable? Is it even justifiable? I'm not even convinced it's functional. Someone paid for this design, I'm sure. This represents the current housing model and how it resembles this conundrum. How are we going to get adaptable housing to become mainstream? I think it's us. We need to be more adaptable. So this tiny house, this is literally our vehicle for trailblazing to a small footprint housing solution. Is it adaptable? Heck yeah. It moves, and that's a good start. But what it really does is it makes us more adaptable. We can choose. It could be our main house, our rental house, our student housing, our seasonal workforce, short-term housing, disaster relief, retirement home, could even be our workplace. It's transportable. It can tolerate various environments. It can be used in multiple markets. And it's off-grid, baby. It's 2.2 kilowatts. It's got fresh and gray water tanks, composting toilet. It's got heat. It sounds divine, doesn't it? And it is. Except, where am I allowed to park it? Legally. Does the zoning exist in your community? Are there naysayers hiding behind the bushes ready to ambush me? Size does matter with adaptability, especially when you're trying to escape the naysayers. So here lies one of the greatest challenges. This is the establishment's answer to housing. This is mainstream. By the time this landscape evolves into a place that I would want to live, these houses will be at the end of their life cycle. Our system is set up to do this. Is that what we want? We have been choosing this by default. The zoning, codes, and financing system supports this. So what's the alternative? This is. Those are my girls, by the way. It's alternative because it's untraditional. It challenges the traditional methods of energy, plumbing, zoning, codes, and financing. Why is this home under 500 square feet not considered a home? Why do we call tiny home owners renegades? What does it mean to have this title? Do we really need to head out to the wilderness with our house trailing behind us to have an alternative lifestyle? How is that sustainable? It comes down to this: to make small footprint housing accessible and affordable, it takes innovators like you and me to change and create the codes, the zoning, and the financing options that will make this mainstream. Size is critical, especially when living off the grid. So of course size matters, that's the whole point, right? We want to create a healthy, affordable, adaptable, and eventually totally typical, sustainable model for housing. We think it's a lofty goal, and we think it's attainable with all of our help. So what are you going to do about it? It doesn't have to be 200 square feet. Unchecked growth will end civilization as we know it today. So question, ask, and innovate. I want you to champion small footprint housing projects in your designs, in your planning, on your review boards, in your conversations. I'm asking for small projects everywhere. Let's gain momentum. So I'd like to leave you with one quote that I heard recently that I really love, and it's from Doug Tompkins of North Face.
Keep going, that was a mistake.
Okay. So what happens when you get to a cliff? Do you take one step forward, or do you make a 180-degree turn and take one step forward? Which way are you going, and which way is progress?